Good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this afternoon. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. Okay. I always express the importance of hitting the cash app that helps to support the channel or the super thanks. Okay. I wanted to talk about what part does Moneybag and his people play in what happened to Young Dolph, right? Will any of his people or him be implicated? Because we know that the Young Dolph's case is far from over, right? And we started seeing a lot of weird things, before it happened, after it happened. Okay. And I think I've always spoken about Moneybag never passed the smell test, right? And so I was just in my members talking to some people, and they kind of refreshed my memory on quite a few things, right? And if you notice, Moneybag has seemed very paranoid and lately, and he's emotional anyways, but he had been putting out on the internet. He had been putting out on the internet, don't trust nobody. You can't even trust family and all of that. And we started seeing what had started happening with him and some of his artists, like Trip Star. They reminded me of he ended up dropping him, right? And they had said that Trip Star, Bread Gang's Trip Star, had been Paper Route Empire. He had been before that, it's not to say he was a traitor or anything. Trip Star is, I think some of these young men kind of go with opportunity, or they think there's going to be opportunity, and they end up getting tricked, right? They kind of end up getting tricked because sometimes they'll sign an artist that was affiliated with another label, and it's really just to drop them and to blackball them, to sign them, especially if they're talented, right? They look at them as being a threat, and to also cause division, because with the stuff that had been going on between CMG and CMG affiliates and Paper Route Empire, I don't think Paper Route Empire would trust any artist that was once with them and then kind of switched over to go sign with Moneybag, or any of the affiliates, Heavy Camp, or any of them, even if it was just for business, right? And so, Moneybag, a lot of people always say, well, they don't believe that Moneybag had anything to do with it. And I'm not saying that he had anything to do with it. I've always said that Moneybag never passed the smell test. You are who you really deal with. Okay. His artists are a reflection of him. And so we got to be honest. A lot of what we saw was when before this happened to Young Dolph, we saw Straight Drop being around Moneybag Yo's artists, right? So it kind of leads me to believe that it was Brett Gang, if this stuff had not hit the fan, that was going to sign him, because from my understanding, it could be a rumor, but people swear that Big Jook had signed Straight Drop to a management deal, and that's normally how it always happens. He signs them to a management deal, and then they end up signing with an affiliate of CMG, if not CMG, right? Um, and so I think that was going to be the plan, right? Him doing we saw him doing videos and stuff and songs with Brit Gang's artists. He did a song with Big 30, and he did a song with the other guy. I don't know why we want to call him E40 so bad, but his name is the big guy. I can't think of his name right now. Moneybag's cousin, right? And so he was on stage with Moneybag's artists. He was dealing with them heavily. So it leads me to believe that that was going to be one of his rewards. We cannot take that off the table. I think that's very logical and accurate, even though I don't have the truth. I don't have the proof to actually prove that, I would say I would feel safe saying that that's what was going to happen. That's the reason why they was finessing him, and he was hanging with him. They was putting him on stage. They was letting him see that this is the life that you're going to live if you go on and take young Dolph out, right? And so months later, he takes out young Dolph. He's one of the ones that took him out. And so shortly after that, in 2 weeks, yeah, I don't believe in coincidences. In 2 weeks after that, or the next week after young Dolph is taken out, that's when the video was it Stepped On drops with E40. Yeah, I can't think. Y'all, what is his name? Moneybag Yo's cousin. And I like little E40. I have to call him E40 because my mind won't tell me what his name is right now. I don't know. I always call him E40. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Homie G. That's his name. Homie G. And him and E40 sound is very different. But Homie G, that's his name. Right. So the video with Homie G drops, and then the stuff starts hitting the fan. So the stuff starts hitting the fan, and they didn't know how. They thought they was gonna get away with that. They didn't know how the folks was on their tail like that. He drops that. They watch him for a little bit because they had already gotten intel on who it was. They watch him for a little bit, right? They getting them indictments ready, like they getting them secret indictments ready right now. But they were already okay, nothing. Right? I think I told y'all last year some indictments was gonna drop, but they didn't drop. But I told y'all just because they didn't drop, they still gonna drop. And it's so funny because I'm starting one of the people. I just get so tickled. That I heard was going to be indicted. I'm starting to hear people talk more about him, and he had not been talked about. I said, wow, ain't that something? But anyways, and remember now it was a secret arrest. Now I don't know if the person has been let out, because y'all know people tales. So maybe they're out right now. They might be out. And let's not forget about, Trayon Owens, right? I'm gonna talk about that in a few minutes, okay? But let me, because I be all over the place because I have so much going through my head, y'all. Like I be having a lot going through my head, and when I think about something, because I forget, I'll jump and start talking about it so that I don't forget, okay? And then I be having to sort out instantly what can I say, what I can't say. And so, anyways, Moneybag. Let's get back to him. Now, a lot of people say they don't think Moneybag had anything to do with it. Maybe he didn't. But one of my subscribers kind of reminded me a few minutes ago about Brett Game Drick. And Brett Game Drick and Moneybag had fallen out. Now, I saw that when they was going back and forth on the internet, and Moneybag said, give me the chain back. And he said, come and get it. And he was like, take Brett Gang off of your name. Now, some people say that's why he changed the name Brett Gang. I doubt it. Probably had something to do with some taxes or something, or some other, with some legalities, probably. But Brett Game Drick was talking about free straight drop. And so one of my subscribers just brought to my attention that I didn't see it, but one of my subscribers said he saw it, that when straight drop was in Indiana, Brett Game Drick was in Indiana. And maybe that was one of the ways that he had received some of his money, right? Who knows? Allegedly. I don't know, because, but you could tell that Brett Game Drick definitely, when he said free straight drop, whatever the issues were, it was definitely because for him to say free straight drop while he's going, him and Moneybag is going at it. That leads me to believe that has something to do with the fallout, right? Because you don't be arguing with somebody and saying free straight drop. That's because that would be weird, right? That would make him cuckoo. So I would think that it had something to do with that arena, that area, what this back and forth was about. Moneybag is slick enough to, or you may have not wanted for Brett Game. He wanted for Brett Game Drick to cut off all affiliations, right? Publicly cut off all affiliations, don't say anything, don't bring any attention to Brett Gang, as if people didn't know that Straight Drop had been dealing with a lot of the hanging with a lot of the Brett Gang people, as if it would erase anything. But I guess he was scared and he didn't want any attention, or for anything to be so obvious, when I had already said from the very beginning that I found it weird that Straight Drop was down there in Indiana, which is where Zachary is from, right? Zach Randolph. I always found it weird. Okay. So I'm sure because Zach is from down that way that they would hang out around Indiana, because they gets down there. The other half of my family is down there. So I know they gets down with the get down there in Indiana. Okay. And so it's just a lot of stuff that don't that's very suspicious, which is why I've always said, right, that he didn't pass the smell test. Okay. Um, you think about the type of attorneys that Straight Drop and Cornelius got, and everybody was saying, Juke was paying for him, and he was, but he hasn't been the only one paying for them. He hasn't been the only one paying for them. Okay. So who else is paying? Who else is paying for them? It's got to be somebody with some long money, especially paying for Straight Drop's attorney. Because I think Straight Drop is even more of a danger than Cornelius is to the others. Okay. Especially the others with the money. Right. So what role will Moneybags people play in this situation? Will they play a role? And I like Moneybag. I've always felt like he was talented. It's not Moneybag is very talented. He's a hard rapper. I give that to him. And I would love to be proud of him coming out of Memphis, especially being as talented that he is. But, we cannot negate the fact that he never passed the smell test, nor his artists. Him and Brett Gang Drick fell out, it appears to me, because of something as it relates to Straight Drop. And it seems to me that Brett Gang Drick remains loyal publicly and probably non-publicly, if I'm saying that right, to Straight Drop, right? Right? Because he did bring up about loyalty, and he said free Straight Drop. Okay. So you don't be going back and forth with somebody and then and you go back and forth with them in the same post and then say free Straight Drop. That would be weird if they was arguing about a damn ham sandwich and you said free Straight Drop, or they arguing about him putting out an album and they going back and forth and he say free Straight Drop. They say he's a damn lunatic. No, it was about Straight Drop, right? So what role would they have played in it? I think that's going to be interesting to see as everything starts to come out. If it's him or if it's any of his affiliates, if Endless plays a role. I've always said, Straight Drop, out of all the places to be, how come he wasn't trying to get to Mexico? He goes north to Indiana. Nobody even thinks about Indiana or visiting. I do, because I love my family. I be loving to go see them. But when you talk about going to a city to visit and vacation, you're not going to say, let's go to Indiana. You're going to say, let's go to Chicago. Right? Yeah, you'll say, let's go to Chicago, because that's right next to Indiana. But Straight Drop was in Indiana. It would have been a good hideout place, especially if you know somebody with some money. And they got plenty of money and land and houses where you can stay in the basement. They got basements in Indiana. And you can stay down there and hide and live good, until they can ship you out, I guess, and get you a facelift or something. I don't know. I don't know. That's me now. But what role, what part does Moneybag and his people play in what happened? Does his artist play some type of part? You know, because I mean, it was a lot of heavy stuff going on. Like it, I mean, it was a lot of emotions flying. Um, it's been a lot of heavy stuff to go on, a lot of weird stuff. And as I always said, it wasn't heavy camp artists that Straight Drop was spending the most time with. It was Brett Gang artists that he was spending the most time with. Although I don't doubt that he was hanging with heavy camp artists. I'm just telling you, it was Brett Gang's artists, and it could be because they already had friendships, but I doubt it. It was because they was planning to sign him, I believe. It probably would have been a Brett Gang endless type deal, and Juke, with him being signed to Juke's management deal. That's what I think. It would have been a endless Brett Gang joint venture, if I had to guess, and I'm normally not ever that far off. Okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about Trayon Owens. I hope Moneybag ain't had nothing to do with it. I said that country Moneybag. I hope Moneybag didn't have anything to do with this. I really hope that he did not. Moneybag is very talented. He's too talented to throw all that away. Do I believe he know what happened? Shit, yeah. I'd be a damn fool to say it. No. I know he know what happened. But you can know what happened and not have had anything to do with it. So I hope that he didn't. But he's never passed the smell test. And it could just be because of the people that he's affiliated with. You know, I don't know. But one thing for sure is going to come out. Everything real soon. I want to talk about Trayon Owens too. You know, Trayon Owens at one point was down in the jail in Mississippi. I really hate to talk about Trayon because I'd be so forgetful, y'all. I was intending to pull up something. They're saying that they don't think that Trayon is in. It'll take me too long to pull it up. They don't think that Trayon is down in the Mississippi jail anymore. I was trying to remember what jail he was in because I don't know if he has some charges or something down there. Is he back in Covington? That's what I want to know. Is he back in Covington? I think people forget about him, you know, and they're being extremely secretive about him going back and forth to court. And that's for a reason. One thing I do know, somebody tell me the charges he had in Mississippi. I could pull it up. Hell, I could do it myself. He was down there in a Mississippi jail, and I'm not saying that this is what it is, but I do know whenever they do like protective custody for high profile cases, just like they did Craig Pettis, they take them to one of them jails down there in Mississippi, like around oh God, like around Yazoo or somewhere like that. Yeah, that's where they take them, you know, when they have them in, put them in one of those jails to keep them away from everybody else. Those are like for when they're in these high profile cases, but they've been very secretive. And a lot of people don't forget that he's an ace in the bag too, because he was very close to them. He ran tight with them. He was very close to them. He knows what happened. They had committed a situation in the Covington situation in the same car. Was it the day before or a few days before? So he knows exactly what's happening. So people are overlooking that. I don't think it's a coincidence that they're keeping what is going on with him quiet. People don't need to know when he's being transported or when he's in court or nothing like that. I think they're doing a good job with that, just like they do the rest of the witnesses. And I'm not saying he's a witness, okay? I'm just saying as it relates to witnesses, because he may not be a witness, okay? Let me go ahead and say that. But I find it really weird what's going on with that. But I don't want to talk too much about that because I need to look some more. Just scratch the surface. I ain't gonna dig into nothing because it's not my job to dig into what the police is already doing. When I scratch the surface and there are some things that are public, I'm gonna talk about it. If I don't see that it's public, you will not hear me talk about it. You will not. I'm not going to. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.